Subscribe to our channel and click on the bell button to receive important financial updates faster than anybody else. Friends, welcome to another video on your channel Profit and Equities. If you like our content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Also subscribe to our channel, click on the bell button and choose all notifications to receive important financial updates from our channel at the earliest. In this video, we'll be talking about 8 stocks from Satpal Khattar's portfolio for the year 2018. Now, for those of you who do not know, he is a very accomplished investor in the Indian stock market. Please watch this video to know more. Now, the first stock on the list is Sequent Scientific Limited, which is available at Rs 48.35, and the holding for Satpal Khattar in this stock is 2.92%. The face value for it is 2, whereas the symbol is SEQUENT. Now, Sequent Scientific Limited is a holding company. It operates as a pharmaceutical company. Its segments include pharmaceuticals, specialty chemicals, and analytical services. It focuses on products for livestock, poultry, and companion animals. It also offers laboratory and technical support services. Now, as is evident from the 1-year chart, the stock has been on a downtrend for the entire year. The market cap of the company is 1178.46 crores, which means that the company is a small cap one. The EPS of 16.48 translates into a very cheap price to earnings ratio of 2.93, which is much cheaper when compared with the industry PE of 30.21. The book value of 38.92 also translates into a reasonable price to book ratio of 1.24. The dividend yield here is 0.41, whereas the promoter holding is an above average number for this stock at 57.28%. The 52-week high for the stock is 134.80, whereas the 52-week low is 44.45. Now, the second stock on the list is Intense Technologies Limited, which is available at Rs 60.65, and the face value for it is 2. The holding for Satpal Khattar in this stock stands at 1.70%. The symbol for it is INTENTECH. Now, Intense Technologies Limited offers computer programming, consultancy, and related activities. The company's operations relate to software product development, solutions, and related services. Now, if you were to look at the 1-year chart, you would see that the stock has literally been on a downtrend for the entire year, other than a small period towards the middle of the year when it had a spike. The market cap of the company is 135.49 crores, which means that the company is a micro cap one. The EPS of 4.91 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 12.35, which is much cheaper when compared with the industry PE of 23.89. The book value of 28.49 also translates into a reasonable price to book ratio of 2.13. The debt to equity here is 0.1142, whereas the return on equity for this stock is 0.0706. The company does not pay out any dividends, and the promoter holding is also very low at 18.46%. The 52-week high is 127, whereas the 52-week low for this stock is 52.90. Now, the third company on the list is Strides Pharma Science Limited, which is available at Rs 449.10, and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is STAR. Now, Satpal Khattar's holding in this stock stands at 1.74%. Now, Strides Pharma Science Limited, formerly Strides Shashon Limited, is a vertically integrated global pharmaceutical company. The company is engaged in the development and manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredients and formulations, as well as biotech. Its business segments include pharmaceutical and biotech businesses. Its geographical segments are Africa, Australasia, North America and Europe, South and Central America, India, and others. Now, if you were to look at this chart, you would see that this stock has also been on a decline for the entire year. The market cap of the company is 4021.64 crores, which means that the company is a mid-cap one. The EPS of 99.15 translates into a very cheap price to earnings ratio of 4.53 when compared with the industry PE of 30.21. The company has a book value of 353.11, which again translates into a very reasonable price to book ratio of 1.27, which is on the cheaper side. The dividend yield is 0.45, whereas the promoter holding is below average at 31.34. The 52-week high for the stock stands at 1041.10, whereas the 52-week low is 333.30. Now, the fourth stock on the list is IFL Holdings Limited, which is available at Rs 735.85, and the face value for it is 2. The symbol for it is IIFL. Now the holding for this stock stands at 1.93%. Now IFL Holdings Limited is an India-based holding company. The company's segments include fund-based activity, financial product distribution, capital market activity, and others. The company is an offline and online broking, and advisory services is also provided to the retail and institutional clients by this company. The company and its subsidiaries are engaged in financing, wealth management, and agency businesses. Now, as is evident from the 1-year chart, this stock was consolidating for the first few months of the year, then went on an uptrend, but since then again has been on a downtrend. The market cap of the company is 23,477.41 crores, which means that the company is a large cap one. The EPS of 6.19 translates into a very expensive price to earnings ratio of 118.88, which is also much more wildly expensive when compared with the industry PE of 42.89. The book value of 45.62 also translates into a very expensive price to book ratio of 16.13. The company has a dividend yield of 0.68%, whereas the promoter holding is also a low number at 28.95. The 52-week high is 874, whereas the 52-week low is 555. Now the fifth stock on the list is Gayatri Projects Limited, which is available at Rs 205.25 and the face value for it is 2. The symbol for it is GAYAPROJ. Now the holding for Satpal Khattar in this stock stands at 2.77%. Here, it's important to remember that Gayatri Projects Limited is an infrastructure company which focuses on road projects, industrial projects, and power projects. Now, the 1-year chart reveals that this company was on an uptrend for the first few months of the year, then had a vertical fall, but since then has again recovered in value. The market cap of the company is 3,842.25 crores, which means that the company is a mid-cap one. The book value of 59.99 translates into a price to book ratio of 3.42, which is a bit on the higher side. The company did not pay out any dividends, whereas the promoter holding is below average at 44.95%. The 52-week high is 239, whereas the 52-week low for this stock stands at 152.70. Now the next stock on the list is RPP Infra Projects Limited, which is available at Rs 216.00 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is RPPINFRA. Now the holding for Satpal Khattar in this stock stands at 2.21%. RPP Infra Projects Limited is engaged in engineering and construction activities. The company is engaged in the business of construction and infrastructure development, such as civil construction work for irrigation and water supply projects. It's also involved with power plants and construction of civil infrastructure for residential and commercial structures for infrastructure projects, roads and bridges. Now this stock has also not done wonders for the people who hold it in their portfolio. The market cap of the company is 488.17 crores, which means that the company is a small cap one. The EPS of 5.31 translates into an expensive price to earnings ratio of 40.68 when compared with the industry PE of 27.92. The book value of 82.79 translates into a price to book ratio of 2.61, which is not wildly expensive. The company has a dividend yield of 0.23%, whereas the promoter holding is just above average at 52.51%. The 52-week high for the stock stands at 323.95, whereas the 52-week low stands at 196.80. Now the next stock on the list is Suyog Telematics Limited, which is available at 299.25 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is SUYOG. Now Suyog Telematics Limited is an India-based telecommunication infrastructure provider. The company provides telecommunication products and services and is engaged in other machinery and equipment renting businesses. The company is engaged primarily in the business of installing and commissioning of poles, towers and optical fiber cable systems in India. Now, as is evident from the 1-year chart, this company has not really done anything for its shareholders. The market cap of the company is 303.87 crores, which means that the company is a small cap one. The EPS of 20.51 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 14.59, which is much cheaper when compared with the industry PE of 31.84. The book value of 68.62 translates into an expensive price to book ratio of 4.36. The company has a dividend yield of 0.33, whereas the promoter holding is just about average at 49.63%. The 52-week high stands at 470, whereas the 52-week low for this stock stands at 260. Now the final stock on the list is Trans Warranty Finance Limited, which is available at Rs 4.70 and the face value for it is 10. The holding for Satpal Khattar in this stock stands at 4.99%. The symbol for it is TFL. Now, Transparency Finance Limited is an India-based holding company engaged in providing non-banking financial services. It provides a spectrum of financial services, both advisory and fund-based lending. It provides advisory services such as investment banking, corporate finance, project finance, trade finance, as well as business and retail loans against collateral security of immovable property. Now, if you were to look at the 1 year chart, you would see that this company was on a slow uptrend for the first few months of the year, but since then has been on a steep decline. The market cap of the company is 11.50 crores, which means that the company is a very tiny one. The EPS of 0.05 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 94.00, which is very expensive when compared with the industry P of 42.89. The book value of 13.44 translates into a price to book ratio of 0.35, which is however very cheap. The debt to equity is 0.5111, whereas the return on equity for this stock is 0.0189. The company has a dividend yield of 0, whereas the promoter holding for this stock is above average at 53.62. Now friends, this is a very small investment. It's Satpal Khattar's portfolio, so please be very careful with this stock. Now friends, please don't consider these to be recommendations on our part. Please go ahead and do your own research. This and all other content that you see on our channel is intended to be a piece of news. Thanks for watching, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so.